Trading in between these VWAPs is going to be the most difficult days that we have. It's not like our clean trending days when we have full VWAP alignment. That's the easy days to make money. It's the days like this when we're above some but below others that make it tricky to know which ones to weigh more, which ones should we follow, and how to make money in the easiest way. So let's look at the 15-minute here because it was pretty similar lessons from yesterday. Let's look at it here on the Wednesday, how leading into the open, it's higher highs and higher lows all above this overnight daily VWAP. Looking good, looking great. That looks very bullish. And then here at 9:30 at the open, I'll zoom it in, you couldn't get below, sellers couldn't close below this daily. They started bearish, popped back up and actually closed bullish, and the next bar shoot just back higher because that's normally where I want the moves to happen from. If you've seen any of the YouTube videos on here, this daily view up is where I like moves to happen from. So if I can get a nice close price there and the trend is obvious that I know I want to be a buyer, this would be a great place to want to buy it because you know we're holding this daily view up nice. That could be our launch pad. The reason it's a little bit tougher today, although I do see the higher highs and higher lows, that would be a clean long opportunity. It's still below previous days New York VWAP and start of week VWAP above us. So like I was saying, if the two VWAPs above us in blue and yellow were below us and we had full VWAP alignment for longs and we're holding this daily VWAP, that's a no-brainer long, clean, easy bullish trend to take advantage of. But the reason it's a little bit tricky because you're saying, well, we just rejected the previous days New York and look how well we respected it last night on the previous days New York as well as start of week VWAP. So it's a little bit tougher to know, are we actually bullish or just look at what happened since Monday's high at 10:30 in the morning. Right? Buyers just disappeared, looking like it was going to be a strong bullish drifting day. It did close as a bullish day, but buyers really disappeared at 10:30 in the morning. And ever since then, we've still been falling with lower highs up until this point, another lower high. And now we're here at the open, right? So are we actually bullish? This overnight looks like it. I mean, definitely buyers overnight, but this could just be the pullback to make the next lower low because it's the same thing we did yesterday. Pullback, lower low, because the trend is actually short term a little bit more bearish. Even though on the week we're still bullish because Monday down here was so strong. So it's a little bit tricky. I'll give you that for sure. But let's say you do find the long. You'd be trading level to level on any of these days, right? Because it's not full trend continuation. We're not going to be greedy ever, but definitely not on a day when there's not strong trend. We're trading from the daily view up to previous days New York. If it breaks through it, great. Maybe we'll trade it to start a week. If it breaks through that, great. I'll then long it above it again. I'm not looking to long it way down here and hold through all these VWAP breaks hoping it does so, right? Because it doesn't always and it often won't. And you can see it doesn't actually turn into a strong bullish day. Ends up holding the start of week VWAP just like it did yesterday and creates the next lower high for us to work with and come back down in the afternoon with the help of FOMC. But just overall, was it really a bullish bias day that the longs were easy and you wanted to long because you thought the market was going higher? Not necessarily. I mean, you got some money to be made to the upside for sure, but it was very short-lived as the trend intraday and short-term isn't really bullish. Ideally, we're not trading on this day because it's the bank holiday here on Juneteenth. But when you look at it like this, we're making clear lower highs and clear lower lows below this daily. And now if you look at it, let's re-anchor just for fun of this one. Where's yesterday's 9:30 New York Open? If I put on 9:30 New York Open from there, clear all the VWAPs. Notice how we're below every VWAP now. We're below the start of week, below previous days New York, below today's daily. And we're making clearly lower highs and lower lows, new lows a week. Clearly this is bullish. So if we can get a pullback, I know I want to short that. No doubt in my mind. I know I can play with the VWAPs there. Clean, easy, identifiable trend. But on this day when it's looking kind of bullish, but we're kind of trapped underneath two VWAPs, it's definitely tough. So if you can make your money early in the morning, let's go to the 1 minute here. Get off the desk, especially on an FOMC day. I would not expect that to want to trend anyways, but especially when there's VWAPs in the way, which is why I was even surprised we did get at least this much movement out of it because normally it's stuck in a range in FOMC because everyone's waiting until that 2 o'clock release. So if we wanted to long it, you'd have to wait probably, let's see the time on these. You got the break above New York at like 9:43. So the open range is still setting here. So it's a little bit tough. Open range is still not formed, but you saw sellers spike down. Buyer's been holding above for like 5 minutes. That pin is on the 15-minute, just hasn't closed yet. And then it just drifts without you. So if you don't grab it there, the train is left and you're too late. The next play would probably be to take this higher day VWAP to this small little pullback. We're being picky now, or hindsight, cherry picking now, because I don't love that small little quick pullback, break of higher day. Let's go run some more. And risk reward wise to that start of previous days New York VWAP, Not the best. Yes, it broke through it, but I don't know that. You don't know that. It could have very well rejected it and came back down and been stuck in a range. So I want to have good plays to those VWAPs, right? It's the same thing maybe if I launched it up here on the break above starter week or previous days New York VWAP, I'd be trading it to that starter week. Get me out. I don't care what it does. If it breaks above it, cool, great. I could always get in long again. If it rejects it, well, that's great. I'm out of the trade. You don't want to have to predict what's going to happen or hope in order for you to win. Read and react. If buyers can hold us above here, we get some extension, longs could still be in play. If we reject it, I'm going to trade away from this starter week view up, maybe back down to the New York because I don't think we want to move higher. Buyers just rejected this. So this could be our higher time frame, lower high like we were saying here on the 15-minute, right? Does everybody see that of these lower highs? It's not really breaking bullish structure overall that the longs are super easy in terms of how the shorts would be super easy today of, yeah, there's no doubt we're selling that. We can't be a buyer down here with clear lower highs, lower lows, new lower week, below every VWAP. So when you're trading with these VWAPs in your way, I wouldn't say one of them is less significant. You just have to be more picky, more patient, maybe size down. And you're going to see different types of plays of maybe you are shorting it off of that starter week VWAP back down in New York. You're going to be fighting the New York, which we don't like to do. But it's a viable option being that it's looking a little bit more overall bearish on the 15-minute. This 1 minute doesn't agree with that. The 1 minute looks pretty bullish. And you can see the longs were short-lived as it just fizzled on down the rest of the afternoon until the FOMC grossness. So we're not even going to playbook any ideas over here because we wouldn't be trading FOMC. But one more thing you could say, I mean, look at the high day VWAP. Buyers never take it. It's a clean pullback to New York, right? And previous days New York, buyers are holding it. It looks pretty clean up there. Again, no break of high day VWAP, so no long signal. And I wouldn't necessarily want to long it because we just rejected starter week VWAP, telling me buyers can't stay up there. So I don't want to long it back into it again when it just showed me weakness up there. Take into account that 15 minutes still doesn't look awfully bullish. And now at this point down here, it's probably looking even more like this is going to be our lower high because we're just still falling from yesterday into today. And now we're going into the afternoon and finding weakness of the buyers. I made a video about yesterday's price action. You can check that one out as well. It's pretty similar. Or was it Monday? It was Monday. Look at Monday. I have a video on it, but just real quick. The strong drift higher, and then do we pull back and respect New York here? Yeah, we do. But it's still just making lower highs and lower lows because we're now in a short-term bearish trend. In the channel, buyers could not take this high day view up to save its life. You can see all the failed attempts to hold it. I mean, buyers try to take it once, failed, don't even really get close there. And then even when they do break it, they failed again because now we're starting to just curl back underneath. There's no buying power. We rejected up here. Let me not force it back up into there because it's really not telling me we can go up there. So hopefully that's not too much information, too confusing, too all over the place. But yeah, I think these view up days when they're pinched in between, that's just the day we look to make our money as quick as possible, as cleanly and easily as possible, right? We don't need to force something every day. But if we can find a nice winning long early in the going, great. Call it a day because I don't want to play with these three VWAPs in my way. Where if I can come in, let's just say on this day that no one's trading because it's the bank holiday, but price action is clearly one directional that I know I want to sell it. I know where I want to sell it to. I know my levels. I know how to play VWAP. That's just going to be the days where we try to maximize on trend because it's easier. There's more reason to believe it can run for our targets of 1R, 2R, whatever, because there's nothing in our way. And again, I teach all of this on ASFX TV, the VWAP course. There's not really a lot of markups with VWAPs intervening with each other and disagreement with each other because those are ideal conditions. Of course, you could try to make money in them. There's always plays in everything, not high probability plays though. That the high probability plays are going to be taught here with the VWAP break, with the VWAP bounce, all in trend. And you'll see the trades we take on live stream every morning are also probably ideally in trend. Will we take trades not in trend? Of course. But ideally, we're all trading in trend because that's where we have higher probabilities, better success, and that's where our payouts come from. So make sure you check them out. All the trades we took this week, even though it was a little bit slower week for me because I'm moving tomorrow, whenever you're watching this, who knows. But so a little bit slower for a week, unwinding, unpacking, packing up. So slower week, but everything on the top one accounts are going good. So if you need a top one futures account, make sure to check that out. They're still running their sale on their instant sim pros, depending on when you're watching this. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure you follow your rules if you have any questions on top one, the strategy, the streams, all that good stuff. Always feel free to reach out, leave a like, leave a comment. I'll always get back to you. But trade safe. I'll see you guys on the charts tomorrow morning.